Hey, what's up? I'm Rafael di Furia, aka Rafi D is me, and I am back at it again on another beautiful Friday night. This week we're going to be talking about the pizza Pasta Amore a little bit. We've talked about this before, about some of these things that may initially attract you to a country like Italy. But before we get too much deeper into the video, if you would like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like, I would really appreciate it, as it does help out the channel. And also, if you enjoy this video, feel free to share this video with your friends over social media, email, WhatsApp, however you guys keep in contact. And if you'd also like to help make videos possible like this on a monthly basis, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon. Or if you'd like to help out just once, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/support. Also, I'm so sorry that I don't have the names of my Patreon supporters on the screen, and also the other usual bits and bobs that I have floating around on the screen. And I'm hoping that next week I'll be back editing on a computer again instead of my phone. I know a lot of you probably don't even notice it or think about it, but it's just one of those extra little things that goes into making these videos. And now for glasses time. So on my video, Living in Italy, Pros and Cons, Living and Working in Italy, I believe it was video number 36. I recently got a comment asking a question. Hey Rafael, thanks for the video. Thanks for checking out the video. I've been dreaming about moving to Florence for years, and I'm of Italian heritage, so I could apply for citizenship. If anything, my greatest fear is how much I've romanticized the country in my mind, and that it could never actually be as beautiful as I think it is. Do you find that it let you down in any way, or does it really live up to all the hype about how beautiful it is? And I think the simple answer to that question, well, to both of those questions, is yes. Although, when it comes down to it, I can't say that I've been let down really in any way. And it's not that things didn't meet my expectations, and it's not that things went above my expectations, although many things have gone beyond my expectations. But it's a very difficult set of questions to answer, because it's one of those things where the answer will change depending on who you ask. And of course, my videos, these are all my opinions, so welcome to my view of the world. And it's one of those things where any answer is going to be subjective. It's going to depend really from case to case, from person to person, from experience to experience. Let's start about over-romanticization about Italy. I think a lot of people do it. And I think it's something that does happen. And I think that this is one of the reasons why I do talk about pizza, pasta, and amore. And by the way, if you want a pizza Pasta Amore shirt, those are available down in the more info section below. You can go to rafaeldifuria.com/NYAG gear. But that's why I talk about this subject and why I try to balance that as much as possible, because there are a number of channels on YouTube that talk about the bella vita and how wonderful and romantic and gorgeous and beautiful this country is. And there is a lot to that. They're not pulling something from nothing here. And if we're going to talk about, is the country a beautiful country? Yeah, I'm going to say it's probably one of the most gorgeous countries in the world. And you have a little bit of everything here, from almost tropical beaches on the Mediterranean up to the beautiful snow-capped mountains up in the north. You have a little bit of everything, and everything in between as well, but no deserts, at least not that I know of. The question I would say comes down to, what do you call beautiful? Because beauty, of course, is in the eye of the beholder. So that's a tricky thing. Something could be completely broken and dilapidated and completely crumbling, and one person finds that absolutely the most beautiful thing in the world, but another person would see that as a junk pile. I'm not saying that this applies to the country at all, not in any way. But maybe there are parts that are a bit older that do have some buildings that are falling apart. And I personally find beauty in that, to try and look at the history of a place and to see what a place has been through. There's beauty in that. There's a lot of rich, wonderful history in this country. And that history can be experienced in many ways. I mean, probably the way that comes to mind that would be the easiest way to experience that would be through food. And because there's a long tradition of Italian cuisine. Okay, things may change over time, but you can go to places where you'll find maybe some dishes that have a little bit of an older, simpler feel to them, or maybe a more complex and modern feel, or a modern and simple feel as well, or something that finds the combination of the two together. You have rolling hills, steep mountains. You have beach towns. You have small towns up in the mountains. You have big cities like Rome and Milan and Florence. These things do exist. So you've got a little bit of everything. So are you someone that finds more beauty in nature or more beauty in a city, in a hustling, bustling city? What's more for you? It could be that even things change depending on the time of the year. For example, you might walk through the city of Milan in the springtime and go to the park and see things blooming and green grass and the sun out in the sky. But then in the middle of winter, when the sky is gray and some of the architecture may start feeling oppressive at times, it just depends on where you are and what you enjoy and what you find beautiful. There are things that do wear off. There are feelings that wear off. The beauty doesn't wear off, in my opinion, but maybe the way you relate to that beauty. Your rose-tinted glasses, I think that's how you say it in English. I'm losing my English here. Been abroad for almost 10 years. Your native language starts slipping away little by little. Trust me. But maybe I'll make a video about that because my 10-year mark is actually coming up very, very soon. So it's not the beauty that fades, but the way you enjoy it, the way you relate to it. And I've mentioned this before in videos. A lot of people, when they're moving abroad, they think that, oh, their issues will be all gone and just disappear. All because they've moved to a new country, they've started all over again, and they're living this whole new fabulous life. And okay, there may be aspects of it that might be new and wonderful and fabulous and fantastic. But there are problems that follow you no matter where you go, and there are sometimes problems that are more internal than external. And there may be the external problems which stem from an internal source. It all depends. If you have financial problems at home, it's not necessarily going to be that all of your financial problems will be taken care of in a new place. It's not to say that they won't be, but it's also important to make the right decisions so that's possible. I think the example I used in a past video is that if you live in a small town with no work, no jobs, no money, then probably moving to another town with no work, no jobs, no money would probably not be the best thing for you, even though a small town might be more what you're comfortable with. It's more about where you can make your living. Something I remember a family member of mine said, it's not so much about finding a place where you can be happy, because happiness doesn't necessarily last if you're in an uncomfortable situation, but where you can support yourself and be financially comfortable enough to get by. That's where you can be happy. These aren't the exact words, but roughly the same kind of meaning. But we're talking also somewhat about physical beauty and relating to that physical beauty. There's other factors which will affect how you relate to that. And that's not only your finances, but just things on a day-to-day basis. For example, having to deal with Italian bureaucracy could become a headache, or it's one of those things where it's like you accept it, you understand that it exists, and then you just roll with it and you just try to keep pushing through and just understand that this is the way it is. Try not to get stressed out about it, even though that may be difficult at times. But then remember the reasons why you wanted to enjoy this new place, and that living in Italy, you have the opportunity to just hop on a train and go and be in locations that people just dream about. I mean, within like an hour or two, depending on where you live in the country. You could be in a gorgeous historical site or somewhere just sipping your tea or sipping your wine, sipping an aperitivo. Like, you can just be doing these things that a lot of people dream about, that a lot of people think are, wow, lifestyles in the rich and the famous. And it's like, no, these are kind of just basic, simple things that people just do on a daily basis. Okay, I'm not saying that people just go sit by the beach all day long, every day, all day, but there is that part that a lot of people do misunderstand, I think. Just using myself as an example, there have been people who have messaged me, friends, family, people who I don't know who've just seen my videos and say, wow, your life, it looks so glamorous. You must be XYZ, and it's like, when it comes down to it, I mean, I struggle a lot here. As I've mentioned previously, I'm not crying about that. That is something that I accepted when I came here, that at the beginning, as a new person in this country, coming and starting my life over, there would be some struggles. But am I happy? Yeah, of course I'm happy. Is it easy? No. Am I always happy? No. I'm human. This is just being real. Like, it's not like you're going to arrive in a country, any country, and it's not necessarily talking just about Italy. You could arrive anywhere, and for example, Bali. I've never been there, but maybe you'll get the point that I'm trying to make. It could be a gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful place, but then you arrive there, you got no cash. And then you have to start working, I don't know, in a rice paddy or something. So maybe that joy that you might thought you would have had has kind of disappeared. But Did you go there to start working in that rice paddy? Is that the experience? And was that the beauty that you were looking for, to experience life in maybe a more simple way? It's all dependent on the person. So if we go down the list, has the country and has the lifestyle been romanticized? Yes, of course. Is there truth to that? Yeah. You do have to work for it, just as you would anywhere else. It's not like you're going to be sitting out every afternoon just drinking a glass of wine, doing nothing, and just sitting under the sun. Well, maybe not if you're without a pension, a nice, comfortable pension. There is truth to that, but where are you going to find that? Maybe you'll end up finding that in a smaller town. Is a smaller village the type of place where you want to be? Or are you coming from New York City and you're used to the hustle and bustle and you need that noise around you, and then you land and plop down right in the middle of the countryside in a village of 200 people? Will you be able to take that quietness? Will you be able to take the stillness of the night? And I'm just saying this because I've known people who've tried to make that transition and they can't. And they end up thinking that where they are is hell on earth, ugly, disgusting, and they just have this bitter taste in their mouth. But if you know you're from a larger city and that's more what you're comfortable with, and that's more of your pace of life that you need, not necessarily that you want, but if you need that around you, then maybe you need to consider certain parts of the country. But if you are from a smaller town, maybe you need to consider other parts of the country. What's the beauty that you're looking for? It's not only what is the beauty that you're looking for, but what is the beauty that is right for you? Is it a beautiful country? Absolutely. It's gorgeous in every way, but there may be parts of that beauty that you have to learn to appreciate. And again, in a past video, like I said, when I first arrived in this country, I arrived in Milan at the central train station, and I'm standing in front of this giant building built during the Mussolini era, just thinking, this is not the Italy that they told me about. So there's different aspects of beauty. There's different ways to look at these things. Did I find that I was let down in any way? No, because I really didn't know quite what to expect. Other than like, okay, I did have the expectation of a small village life. It wasn't that it let me down in any way. It was just an adjustment. And does Italy live up to all of the hype about how beautiful this country is? Yeah, no doubt about it. There are parts of the country that are more beautiful, and there are parts of the country that are less beautiful. It's one of those things where it's difficult to generalize, because when you're talking about the whole area of a country, this is going to be generalizing a lot, like really generalizing on a massive scale. But overall, yeah, I would say that. I would say this. Is it perfect? No. There are parts of it that are perfect. Are there things that could be improved? Yes. And when we're talking about beauty, if you're only coming to the country for the beauty, then there may be other things that you miss along the way, because there are other parts of daily life that are very important to recognize. And it's always important to have the balance of the two, because if you lean too much into the direction of the pizza, pasta amore, then you get tied up in all of that, and then you just feel this warmth and this glow from the pizza, pasta, and amore. But then something happens along the way, and then you drop off and you just like, wait, what the hell just happened? Then there's the other side of the coin, where if you keep it too real, then you may go into a downward spiral and you may start digging yourself into a pit. And I think that if you remind yourself of the pizza, pasta, and amore, it reminds you of the realness. And if you have the pizza, pasta, and amore, and you have the realness, it helps keep you grounded so that you don't fall off and end up in this pit one way or the other. And I think this is something that not necessarily just applies to Italy, but a lot of different countries. But we'll just go with that Italy's the most beautiful. So this is no debate. Anyway, I hope this helped to answer that question a little bit, or if not, that maybe it made you think a little bit. And if you have anything to add to the conversation, or if you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comment section below. Or if you have any questions about this or anything else, feel free to leave that down in the comment section below too. And if you would like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like. And also, if you did enjoy this video, feel free to share this video with your friends over social media, email, WhatsApp, However you guys keep in contact. And if you would like to help make more videos possible like this on a monthly basis, you can go to rafaeldefuria.com/Patreon. Again, a huge thank you to those of you who help make videos like this on a monthly basis. It really makes a very big difference in my ability to continue. And for those of you who just want to help out one time, you can go to rafaeldefuria.com/support. And as always, I'm Rafael de Furia, aka Rafi D is me. Thank you for joining me on another beautiful Friday night. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next Friday night. Later.